Oh my goodness, what do we have here? Guaranteeing fair banking for all Americans bill. Now, I hope I'm wrong. And I hope my knowledge of how the US works is incorrect. Because usually when you see the name of an American bill, the bill does literally the opposite. Like, if you see the infrastructure bill, you can expect bridges to collapse. If you see the Patriot Act, you can expect Thomas Jefferson to cringe. You can expect George Washington to reach for his musket to end his presidency sooner. You know? Like, am I wrong though? Like this is a trend in recent American politics. Like, if you see the big beautiful bill, it's probably the big ugly bill. Every single time, with no exception. So now I'm seeing guaranteeing fair banking for all Americans. And I gotta say, I'm concerned. I'm concerned. That doesn't mean, of course, it doesn't mean that maybe the bill isn't good. It's just like the pattern recognition that spooks me. You know? Like, maybe this is the bill that will break the pattern recognition. I genuinely hope it is. I genuinely hope that, okay, finally a bill that actually does what it says it will do. Finally a bill that actually accomplishes what the mainstream media presents it to accomplish. But I come from Eastern Europe. I'm seeing patterns, chat. Like, what can I do? You know, I never had a Western academic to tell me that seeing patterns is bad. It's prejudice, right? You're prejudiced against the bill, V. Being prejudiced. It's like, okay, maybe I am. I don't know. And I hope you're right. I hope that the guaranteed fair banking bill is actually going to accomplish what it says it will accomplish. And you know how I will know what it does? Like, you know what it would take to convince me? When I start to see either MasterCard or Visa or payment processors change their TOS. Like, when they're going to start removing things from the TOS that shouldn't have been there in the first place. When I see that, I'll be like, okay, you know, the bill works. Or if I see lawsuits, like someone getting the platform for political opinions, and they sue, and they use this bill, and they win, that's going to convince me. And I will say, you know what? That was great. Because at the end of the day, God, does the internet not need a bill like this? It absolutely does. And it's also bipartisan. Like, from what I've seen on the internet, both the left and the right absolutely love this. Like, for the first time ever, I see leftists that has been leftying for like the last 2 decades, and they enjoy this bill. And I, what the fuck? How is it? Well, it's because the payment processors went after porn. I'm not even kidding. Like, you go on Blue Sky, and you see people, like, what? They went after porn. So that makes them right wing? Yes. Holy shit. But V, it's immoral. Yeah, but like, I'm not saying it's moral or not. I'm just noticing what's happening, right? So like, all of a sudden, they hate the payment processors? Yes. They went after Steam, chat. Went after Steam. And that got a lot of people to hate payment processors. All of a sudden. And it's like, okay. But why do right-wingers hate it? Well, because right-wingers have been oppressed for decades. Like, they have been deplatformed and debanked left and right by payment processors for vague TOS, for vague petty shit. And they hate it too. And so, like, for different reasons, most people are agreeing with the bill. It's like, okay, maybe payment processors shouldn't be able to have this amount of power. Because at the end of the day, getting debanked in 2025, it's actually worse than being sent to prison in some cases. I know it sounds ridiculous, but like, think about it, right? If you go to prison, what do you get? You get a lawsuit, right? You get a trial. You get a case presented against you. You get to lawyer up. You get to try and defend yourself. There's evidence, right? There's a jury. You can try to convince people. You can try to make a deal. You can try to hire a lawyer that donated to that judge's political campaign. Like, there are options. You can try things. You know, or maybe get a lawyer that donated to the politician's campaign that anointed the judge. Like, look, you have like so many tools in your arsenal, right? You can try to do something, but when you get debanked, what you do? You do jack shit. That's what you do. You wake up one morning, you're Arch Warhammer, you didn't do nothing, you're a beloved content creator with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, literally stadiums of people applauding you and enjoying your content, and you find out that PayPal fucked you over. And they don't say why, they just give you a vague reason. And when you're upset and you're trying to investigate, they don't tell you shit. And it's like, okay, so for how long have I been fucked up? Forever. You can never make another PayPal account, ever. Wait, so like, there's no trial. Can I argue? No, you can't argue. And so, that's just one example, right? But like, there have been people that have been seriously fucked over to the point where they can't even have a credit card. Nigel Farage, perfect example. He's in the UK. But Donald Trump himself, right? Like, he said that he got persecuted by the banks for his political views. People in the January 6th protest, right? Like, people who have been found not guilty, people who have been exonerated, like, they themselves, like, had the banks crack down on them. People in Canada had the banks crack down on them. And so, like, you gotta wonder, it's like, all right, we're going to a cashless society. Like, people are forced to use the banks. Like, there is no option not to use the banks. You got it, right? Like, how do you get your paycheck? On a credit card. There are laws in various nations which specifically say that any transaction more than $1,000 has to go through the banks. And so, what do you do? Well, if the bank debanks you, you're fucked, right? You can't make transactions, you can't get money, you can't feed yourself, you can't even beg. You can't even beg. Like, if you're in a situation where you're, like, completely debanked, and you would live in a cashless society like they're suggesting we all should, I mean, the level of fucking is off the charts. And so, like, banks should become like utilities in that situation, or we should revert from becoming cashless societies. One of the two. You can't have both. And so, yeah, like, banks should be utilities. But again, you know, guaranteeing fair banking for all Americans. If you name the bill like that, really scares the living shit out of me. Like, if it was the debanking bill, then I would know, oh my goodness, like, is America going to actually make it so that political speech cannot be targeted by payment processors? Right? So I'm waiting for the debanking bill. Like, when the debanking bill happens, then I will have more faith. Up until then, I'm just skeptical. Just extremely skeptical. So, no, I don't think, like, this situation is going to fix the Valve issue, because I know, like, many people that watch this channel care about it. I don't think so. Until I see Valve themselves, like, changing their terms of service, or I see, like, some really spicy, edgy games being uploaded on Valve and the enforcement isn't there, I don't think it will do that. The good thing is, though, and I'll end it on a positive note, is that finally people are speaking out against it, right? Like, finally there's a culture brewing that is basically saying, yeah, you know what, for various reasons, whatever the fuck they may be, payment processors have gotten too far, and they shouldn't be able to ban stuff that's legal. And we're now having the conversation, right? If this bill doesn't fix it, other politicians can notice that this is something that a lot of people care about, and they can actually start having campaigns on this, right? We'll see. We'll see what happens. But from my American knowledge, if it's guaranteeing fair banking bill, not good. Not good. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you on my live stream. There's a link to that. And also in the link, you can use it to support my channel. I need supporters. I'm running out. If you want to be a supporter, there's a link. Pinned comment. I'll see you guys there. Take care.